it was kind of a day of anticipation and excitement because I was quite far along my pregnancy. So we were expecting Arlo to arrive any day, any moment, just excitement. And I'd had kind of false labor for the weeks and days leading up, but that night before was a little bit different. So we thought maybe this was something, but it happened quite a few times before, so you always kind of question. Just the day before, I'd had a fetal assessment, everything looked great, he was in the right position, he was head down, and so yeah, things were looking good as far as we knew.
I had been called by Leah earlier in the day to say, I think today might be the day. I'm starting to feel some contractions. So I had told her to call me back when they got stronger. Also keeping in my head that we were expecting a bit of a quicker birth because her first had gone a little bit faster than the norm. And so I had put Marnie, the other midwife, on standby to let her know that where the client was. And I actually chose Marnie because she lives really close to the client's house.
I arrived and I opened the door and I could hear a very active laboring person. And I quickly found out where they were, which was a little tiny bathroom, and I could hear her sound like she was starting to push. So I ran and I grabbed my home visit bag, and we have an emergency birth kit in there. I grabbed that, I grabbed my Doppler, and I headed to the very tiny bathroom that she was laboring in. Checked the heartbeat, baby was good, everything was fantastic. She started pushing and out popped a foot.
And so that's when we realized that he was not head down, he was breech. And so things changed pretty quickly, and everyone was quite shocked because, as I'd said, we had all of our ultrasounds and fetal assessments and things were showing that he was in a head down position, so plans changed pretty quickly.
When our midwife called out that she saw a foot, my honest first thought was, okay, what does that mean? I didn't know what the next 10 minutes was really going to turn into at that point.
My role is to try to keep the situation as calm as possible, help the midwives if they're present as best that I can. Sometimes, such as in this case, it's handling the phones, talking to the wonderful people at 911.
The call came in, you could tell right away that it was a very emergent call. The midwife let me know right away it was a breech delivery. So right from the beginning we knew it was going to be a serious call.
Once I saw the patient's condition, I was a little more concerned. We'll assist the midwives with getting equipment because we possibly be on scene for a few minutes by ourselves before EMS arrived.
So we did our best just to help grab their equipment and keep it organized, keep it accessible, and whatever they needed, we were able to hand that to them very quickly.
I took over as the primary midwife. The first thing that I did was I did an internal exam to see what was going on with this baby, to make sure that the umbilical cord wasn't presenting and that I wouldn't have to worry about that. Was she fully dilated? Just to give us more information about what was happening. And after I removed my hand from her body, more of the baby started coming. So I knew in that moment that this baby was going to come before we could get to the hospital. So Leah started pushing and the baby came down quite quickly, actually. Its body delivered quite quickly, and EMS arrived. Marnie had been working on setting up our station that we prepare in case the baby needs help with breathing after it's born.
Once the baby started to deliver, we knew that we were going to actually need a further skill set, which is our district chiefs, because they carry the baby pods. And so we needed to get a district chief rolling on that call as soon as possible.
Firefighters communicated to us what they saw because they got there first. When we got on scene, because I'm on the pediatric team, I identified myself to the midwives. I let them do their initial maneuvers that are a little outside of my scope.
After the body delivered, what happened was the head kind of got stuck, and it was because the head wasn't in a good position for coming out feet first. the baby's chin was extended upwards, and we want their chin to be tucked down nicely. So that was actually one of the maneuvers that I had to do that we are trained in doing. And then Marnie helped me by cutting an episiotomy, which is where we make a small snip with scissors in the woman's vaginal tissue to increase the size. So eventually that baby's head did come out, and after it was born, Leah held the baby for a few seconds.
He initially was put on my chest, and then our midwife realized right away that he needed some more support and he wasn't breathing. So they passed him off right away to the paramedics who were just across the hall in our daughter's room.
We dried, stimulated as we just moved to the station, and then provided positive pressure ventilation. We attached a heart monitor, and then we ended up putting a tube in the baby's mouth to help him breathe.
He still blew for the first few moments, but they had him bagged immediately. And before we left, I was able to already see color returning to him.
I was taken into my own ambulance and just waiting and hoping, having to kind of put Arlo in somebody else's hands, that everything would be okay.
We try and be respectful, appreciate the fact that she's apart from her newborn. That's got to be stressful for her. Assure her that she and her child are going to be going to the same place, that they'll be reunited again soon.
About halfway through transport, we started seeing some eye movement, we started seeing some fingers move, and it was nice to hear some weak cries when we arrived at the neonatal intensive care unit.
I think the outcome was positive due to the teamwork from all healthcare providers on scene, from us medics to the firemen to the doulas and the midwives.
From a patient's perspective, like, it was just incredible how everyone worked so well together and gave each other space when they needed space to do their piece.
We don't always get to kind of close the loop on some of the calls, especially with a newborn like that. Given the call, I think it'd feel really good to just see that they're happy, healthy, everything's turned out okay.
The fact that they're now a year old and probably gonna like have a smash cake for their birthday and get all dirty and fun and full of sugar is just a super exciting outcome.
Every time I hold him, I know that he has life in his body because there was a team here and everybody here was working for him.
Our appreciation runs so deep. Like, they gave us the gift of our son's life, and to be able to watch him grow and get to know his unique self, there really are no words for what they gave us and for the kindness that they did it with.